Have you ever caught your reflection in a shop window and felt a flicker of something you couldn't quite name? Not bad, exactly. Just not you. Not the woman you feel like on the inside. Here's the truth nobody tells you at the salon chair. It's usually not your face changing. It's your haircut quietly working against you, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. The wrong cut doesn't just sit there doing nothing. It pulls your whole face downward, hour after hour, day after day, until tired becomes the default expression people read on you, even on your best days. And there's one cut on this list, number 4, that almost every woman over 60 is still wearing without realizing it's the exact reason her reflection feels older than she does. We'll get there. Welcome back to Timeless Tresses, where we believe elegance doesn't have an expiration date. It just needs the right frame. If that's your kind of channel, the subscribe button is right there. Let's get straight into it. Haircut 1. The angled lob mistake, one that's quietly aging so many women. Keeping hair one length, all the way down, past the shoulders. I completely understand why this happens. We were told for years that long hair was the safe choice, the flattering choice, the choice that hides things. Nobody mentioned what it hides them into. Here's the mechanism. One length hair falls in a single uninterrupted line, and the eye follows that line straight down, past the jaw, past the neck, off the body entirely. There's no interruption to catch attention where you actually want it, at your cheekbones and your eyes. The weight of the length also drags at the roots, flattening the crown, so even freshly washed hair looks like it needs another wash. The fix is the angled lob, cut just past the chin at the front, and rising slightly shorter toward the back. A slight A-line, ask specifically for internal point cutting, which removes bulk without removing length, so the ends stay soft instead of blunt and heavy. Here's something you can try today, even before your next appointment. A diagonal side part, swept slightly off-center. It instantly interrupts that straight vertical line and lifts the whole look. But that's not even the one most women are guilty of. The next mistake is one I see in almost every closet. Sorry, every mirror. Haircut 2. The volumized crop. Mistake 2. Clinging to a cut that's short for convenience, but has zero shape to it. I get it completely. After a certain point, low maintenance starts to feel like the whole point. But there's a difference between low maintenance and no structure. And that difference is doing more damage than most women realize. Here's what's actually happening. Fine or thinning hair, cut with no built-in shape, simply lies down flat against the scalp. And flat hair reads as flat energy. The eye reads the silhouette of your head before it ever reaches your face. And a flat silhouette signals faded before you've said a word. The fix is a crop with real dimension. Ask your stylist for graduated layers cut at a steep angle through the crown, so the hair is trained to stand up and away from the scalp rather than settle against it. Do this today. Apply a pea-sized amount of volumizing mousse to towel-dried roots and blow-dry with your head tipped forward for the first 60 seconds. That single habit changes the whole day. And number 3? This is the one that surprised me the most when I really understood why it works. Haircut 3. The soft curtain fringe. Picture this. A woman walks into her granddaughter's birthday party. She hasn't changed her makeup, her outfit is the same as last month, but 3 people ask her, within the hour, if she's done something different. She has. She added a fringe. Most women over 60 avoid fringes entirely, convinced they'll look severe, or worse, that they'll need daily maintenance forever. Here's the actual mechanism. As the decades pass, the forehead naturally shows more visible lines, and a completely bare forehead puts those lines front and center, with nothing to soften the transition into the hairline. A soft, parted fringe doesn't hide anything. It simply gives the eye somewhere gentler to land first, right at your brow and your eyes, before it registers anything else. The fix is a curtain fringe, parted in the center, and blended into the layers on either side, never a hard, blunt line. Try this today, even without cutting anything yet. Use a small round brush to angle your existing front pieces slightly off your forehead. You'll see the effect before you ever sit in a chair. Haircut 4. The textured pixie. Here it is. The one I promised you. This is the mistake almost every woman over 60 is still making, and it's the quietest one on this entire list. Growing hair out specifically to avoid looking like an old lady with short hair. I understand this fear completely, because for decades, short hair on older women was framed as giving up. That rule was wrong, and it's cost a lot of women a lot of confidence. Here's the mechanism nobody explains. As estrogen drops after menopause, hair strands genuinely grow in finer, and there's simply less density to work with. Longer styles need density to look full. Without it, length just reads as thin and tired, no matter how healthy the hair actually is. Short, textured hair needs far less density to look intentional because the shape itself is doing the work, not the volume. The fix is a textured pixie, cut with movement at the crown rather than pressed flat. Ask for point-cut layers throughout, which creates texture without requiring thickness. Do this today. Work a texturizing paste through dry hair with just your fingertips, pushing pieces slightly off pattern rather than smoothing them down. Imperfect is the goal. Haircut 5, the rounded shag. Quick one, because this fix is almost embarrassingly simple. Mistake 5, overstyling every single piece into place until the hair looks sprayed, not styled. Movement reads as life. Stillness reads as stiff. A shag, cut with soft, rounded layers rather than sharp ones, is built to move, catching light differently every time you turn your head, which is exactly what makes hair look expensive rather than aged. Do this today. Skip the flat iron once this week. Let the natural texture show. You'll be surprised what done actually looks like on you. Haircut 6, the jaw-length bob with layers. This is the story of a woman named Carol, whose stylist had cut the exact same blunt bob for her for 11 straight years, because it's always worked. One appointment, she finally asked what would happen if they added layers. Her stylist paused, looked at her for a long moment, and said, "Nobody's asked me that in years." Mistake 6 is loyalty to a cut that once worked but was never updated as the face itself changed. Bone structure shifts subtly with age, and a cut that once flattered a fuller face can start to look heavy on a face that's grown more angular. The fix isn't abandoning the bob. It's adding face-framing layers at the jaw and just below, so the shape moves with your current bone structure instead of fighting an outdated map of your face. Bring a single photo of soft layering to your next appointment and ask your stylist to adapt it, not copy it, to your face today. Haircut 7, the side-swept layered cut. And this is the big one. The mistake that undoes almost every other good decision on this list. Symmetry. A perfectly centered part, perfectly even layers on both sides, nothing asymmetrical anywhere. Perfect symmetry is rare in nature and reads, oddly, as artificial. It also does nothing to soften the natural asymmetries every face develops over time, the very asymmetries that give a face character rather than blankness. The fix is a deep side part, with layers cut slightly longer on one side than the other, intentionally. It draws the eye in a soft diagonal line, rather than a flat, static center. Do this today. Move your part 2 inches to the side, and see how differently your whole face reads in the mirror. Here's the real secret behind every fix on this list. It was never really about any single cut. It's about training your hair to move toward your face instead of away from it, upward instead of downward, intentionally instead of by accident. Every stylist who's ever made you look 10 years lighter understood this one principle and simply applied it differently for each face. Every one of these has an easy fix, and the difference in how you look, and honestly, how you feel walking into a room, is real. You've earned the right to feel confident getting dressed and getting your hair done without apology. If this helped you see your own hair a little differently, give it a like and subscribe for more. And tell me in the comments, which of these 7 were you guilty of? I read every single one.